Hey there guys, it's Evan. I know it's been a couple days since I posted my last video, but um, I've been having some issues. My phone died. I meant to upload my reaction to the Nintendo Direct that happened yesterday, but it just didn't happen. So I'm a little miffed about that, but I'm here today to talk about some of the aftermath of the Direct and E3 in general. There's a lot of information that got put out and a lot of information that might have gotten glossed over or missed. So I'm just going to do a rundown of like every big thing that we saw at E3 and what that could mean for the future, I guess. So in case you missed it, Cyberpunk 2077, in case you forgot about that game's been in the work for like 3 years, and they finally showed us, well, not finally, they've been showing us little cinematic trailers here and there every couple of months for a while now, but we finally got like a really big one, and it's been revealed that Keanu Reeves will be playing one of the main characters in the game, and it seems like he has a prominent role. He came out, he talked to everybody for a bit, and one guy in the audience actually said, "You're breathtaking," to Keanu, and he said, "No, you're breathtaking, you're all breathtaking," and so it's kind of like a meme right now in case you missed it, but that guy who said you're breathtaking is getting a free copy of the game, so good for him. Next up I have Gears 5, which is the next game in the Gears of War series for Xbox. I haven't played many of the games, but I mean, it looks cool. The thing about it that kind of strikes me as odd is it was basically all cinematic trailers, no gameplay. And the game comes out in like 2 or 3 months, so weird choice for them. That was like Xbox's big game of the year, I guess, but for some reason we didn't get any gameplay, so hopefully we'll be seeing more of that in the next couple of weeks, months. Another interesting thing about that game is you'll soon be able to play as the Terminator, I guess, in the game if you pre-order, which is interesting. I think it's a lot of Terminator-based DLC stuff right now, because if the rumors are true, you'll also be able to play as the Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11 very soon. So we'll see about that, but it seems like a strong year for the Terminator. The new Star Wars game looks sick. I can't really say much else about that, but you play as a Jedi. I think his name is Cal, and there's a cute little new robot. Not much to say about it, but it looks really cool, and I'm expecting to see more and hoping to see lots of cool stuff from that. Moving kind of to the Nintendo side of things a little bit, Mario Maker 2, we didn't see any of that in the Nintendo Direct, but I think a lot of people were kind of miffed because Nintendo said that you wouldn't be able to play online with your friends, which doesn't make much sense at all, but Nintendo kind of botches their online services quite a bit. But they later put out an announcement that there will be an update shortly after launch that will allow you to play with your friends. Hopefully they haven't put much details out, but sounds like that's what they're planning. So good for them for fixing that, listening to their fans. So I'm glad they're doing that, because normally they can be pretty bad about that sort of thing. In other news, Watch Dogs Legions, which was showed off at the Ubisoft showcase, looks awesome. I played the first Watch Dogs game. I didn't play 2, but I remember the first Watch Dogs game shown at E3 compared to launch was very different. It kind of failed to meet a lot of people's expectations. It was still a cool game, but the concept that they're doing is you can play as any character. So like, you play, it's like in London, and there's this resistance sort of force. DedSec is the company that you're in, or the resistance that you're in, and you can basically recruit any person that you see, and they all have like a different skill set. So I'm interested to see how that works out. I don't really know how much they can gain from that, I guess. I mean, obviously it's very ambitious, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know how different you can make every single character, but it looks really cool from what we've seen, and I'm excited to play it. Luigi's Mansion 3 got shown off at E3 finally. We've been waiting to hear from that since September of last year, I guess, or yeah, I guess September of last year. So we hadn't heard anything until now. Looks great, looks like a really cool game, but the thing that really kind of bugged me was we didn't get any kind of release date, or even really a release window, except 2019, which we already knew, or we already assumed to be true. So I can't assume much about that. I guess it's still coming along as planned, but that would definitely be an October game if I had to guess. But for some reason they just didn't give us any kind of date. I assume we'll see more of that in September as well, at the inevitable September Direct. let's see here. Fire Emblem Three Houses. They kind of glossed over that in the direct, which I expected, but we really haven't seen a whole lot of gameplay for that. So hopefully we'll see more soon, but it's been confirmed that the romancing section, or the relationships section of Fire Emblem, which is a big part for a lot of people, will only take up a part of the game. I guess how it works is you start in an academy, and then the game progresses 5 years into the future, and then that's when you can start romancing characters. So I don't know why they did that, but I guess it sort of makes sense. And something that really kind of punches me in the gut is you won't be able to play, if you have two characters and they have a kid, you won't be able to play as the kid, I guess. But that also sort of makes sense. In Fire Emblem Awakening, you could have two characters have a child, and then you could play as that child, because there was like a time jump thing. So the kids were roughly the same age as the parents, but I assume that's not happening in Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is a little disappointing, but you know what, I'm sure it's going to shape up to be a great game, so I'm not too worried about it, but you know, you'll never know. Avengers A-Day got announced, which looks to me like one of the Batman Arkham games, or like the new Spider-Man game that came out last year, except you can play as like all the Avengers, I guess. They're not using the character models from the movies, or they're not using the actors from the movies as their character models. They're using different ones, so that looks kind of weird. The voice acting is a little strange, especially Thor. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But the gameplay itself looks really cool. I don't know if it's going to turn out like we saw in the trailer, but the stuff that we saw was really epic, especially Hulk, which isn't my favorite hero, but Hulk looked really cool, and Black Widow even looked awesome in that, so hopefully we'll see more soon. Another cool thing that we saw was Doom Eternal. Not a whole lot to say about that. Doom is like incredible. I'm really excited to play that. Hopefully I'll be maybe streaming it. I don't know if I'll get to that, but streaming, or definitely doing like a Let's Play of Doom Eternal. And the special edition that they're doing with it is like, they've got the Slayer's helmet and like a bunch of other cool stuff, which if it comes to PC with that special edition, I'll definitely be getting that. I don't know if I have the gut to play it on Xbox, but we'll see, I guess. Final Fantasy VII, we're finally seeing stuff from that. The remake of the original game, which looks fantastic. I mean, they've totally done away with the whole turn-based formula, or at least it seems so. I don't totally understand it myself, but it appears like the game can freeze, and then you can make decisions in that time while it's frozen, and then it'll go back to the action. I don't really get it, but it doesn't look like it's turn-based entirely. Another interesting thing about that is the game, the original, I believe, you play like the first 5-6 hours or so in Midgar, which is like a city, and then you go to other locations throughout. But from what I'm hearing, the entire game takes place in Midgar, and it's just massive. So I think that's kind of shaking people a bit. Some people don't like that, but to me it sounds really cool. I love how it looks. So hopefully I'll be playing that too. It comes out on March 3rd of 2020. So you never know. Animal Crossing. We saw that at the E3 Nintendo showcase, and I don't know about you guys if you care about Animal Crossing at all, but that game looks beautiful. It looks so good. Much better, obviously much better than any Animal Crossing we've gotten before, but just the UI looks so clean. Like all the new features and stuff, you can jump over rivers instead of having to go around to the bridges. So stuff like that just looks really cool. Unfortunately, it did get delayed. It was supposed to come out this year, but it's gotten delayed till March 20th of 2020. But you know what? It's worth it. And I heard that the reason they're doing that is so that the people working on that game can have like a normal life and not be living at their offices working 24/7. So for that, I can appreciate it, and I think the game's going to be incredible. And we have plenty of stuff to look forward to in the meantime, so I'm not too bummed about that. We saw, I guess it's a good time to talk about the Smash DLC. At the beginning of the Direct, we got the hero revealed, which I guess you can play as any of the lead characters from Dragon Quest, which was great. A lot of people were predicting Erdrick, but in retrospect, this makes sense. I think it wouldn't make sense to have an old Dragon Quest character be the one to come be in Smash when we just have the Luminary, who's the main character from Dragon Quest XI, and they're promoting the heck out of that game. So why would they do Erdrick and not the Luminary? Well, this makes sense. Now you can play as both. And there's 2 other guys, but I'm not super familiar with Dragon Quest. I'm excited to try it out. I think it comes to Switch this September, so I'll be playing that. I don't know if I'll be recording it. I think long JRPGs like that aren't great for videos, but we'll see. I don't know. Banjo-Kazooie in Smash. That came near the end of the Direct, and whew, I am ecstatic. I can't even begin to describe how happy that makes me, because I'm so upset because I recorded my reaction to it and I was freaking out. I can't really recreate it now because I've settled a bit, but I lost that footage and it's really unfortunate, but I can't even describe how crazy, like, I don't know. I know I predicted that we'd be seeing a new Banjo game, but you know, I'll take this for now because, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, and hopefully we'll be seeing more Banjo content. I think putting Banjo in Smash is the first step to getting him to be, like, right back on top, I think. Nintendo and Microsoft will definitely be working with him in the future, I predict. There's that new game, Elden Ring, from, like, what's it called? Dark Souls? Yeah, Dark Souls, and that other one that they just came out with, the Sekiro. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Sorry guys, I'm just stumbling over here. But that game is special because the I guess the world that you play in was a collaboration between the creators of those games and George R.R. Martin, who is the creator of Game of Thrones. So hopefully we'll be seeing sort of that. It has a very dark feel to it. We haven't seen any gameplay, and the trailer is very cryptic and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's something to definitely be looking forward to. I think that's most of it, but I have one more thing, or 2 more things, I guess. 3 more things. Pokemon, we saw some of that, nothing new particularly, but we did learn a lot of information, I guess. We heard of 2 new Pokemon, and their names are Impidimp, which is this weird little purple guy. I'm guessing he's probably a poison type, if I had to guess. And Yamper, which is the electric corgi, which was leaked, actually, in the initial leak that talked about all the Dynamaxing and all the sorts of stuff we see in the last Pokemon Direct. So more credence to that if people didn't believe it already. If people want me to do a video on that, I can, but I know everyone and their mom has covered it, so I'm not putting that high on my priority list. He's probably just a pure electric type. He's like a little corgi, which is super cute. The thing that's kind of getting a lot of people up in arms is that they announced that there will not be a full national dex, which I understand that's like 800 Pokemon that you could collect, but I know I'm neither here nor there on that. I mean, I love Pokemon, but like I understand why they did it. Some people aren't too happy about it. Some people are like, well, you know, it's a lot of effort. I'm hoping that they kind of release more Pokemon in waves for this game. That would be really cool, because eventually they'll all have to come to this style. I guess I think it's a big undertaking to change all these Pokemon to this new style, so we'll see. That's about it. Oh, 2 more things. I already talked about that. We'll be seeing the new Xbox console, Project Scarlet, at the end of next year, along with Halo Infinite, which the reveal trailer for that blew me away. And I haven't been a big Halo fan in a long time, but that trailer gave me chills. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And Project Scarlet supposedly is going to be 4 times stronger or more powerful than the current Xbox, which is unbelievable, I guess, is one way to put it. But, you know, good for them for doing that. I mean, I can't imagine it'll be any cheaper than $1,000 for this Project Scarlet, but, you know, things change, so I guess we'll be seeing that. And I think Xbox is really, like, heading the races for the next generation of consoles, which is crazy, but you never know. And then finally, to top everything off, I'll finish how the Nintendo Direct finished with a teaser for Breath of the Wild 2, or I guess a sequel to Breath of the Wild is how they described it. And they didn't show us much, but from what I'm understanding and what people are speculating, it looks like Link and Zelda are like underneath Hyrule Castle, and they're seeing this dead guy with like all these, like a spirit hand holding him in place, like he's trapped or something. And they look at him, and then it's like a corpse, and he looks at them and his eyes glow. and a lot of people have seen that he has an earring or something on him, and it's the symbol of the Gerudo. And as you know, there's like no male Gerudo in Zelda. There's like only one every 50 years, and that's always Ganondorf. So I think a lot of people are speculating, because you fought Phantom Ganon technically in Breath of the Wild, that this is like the reincarnation of actual Ganon's corpse. So I don't know. We haven't seen a lot, but this game, it's making me want to play Breath of the Wild again. So I'll probably get on that pretty soon. That's all I can really think of for E3. Some things that people might have missed. Oh, there was a few new amiibo announced. One for the Link's Awakening remake. It's just a cute little guy, chibi little Link looking thing. And then 4 new ones for Smash Bros. Announced. I think there was Incineroar, Chrom, Richter, and somebody else. Can't recall, but I'll post an image right here, I guess. But I'm, like I said, I'm an amiibo guy. I've got quite a few behind me right now. Kind of hard to see, but there you go. The rest of mine aren't right here, but I have well over 100, so maybe I'll show you guys that sometime. I think that's it for this video. I'll try to upload more very soon, but if you like, please like, comment, and subscribe. I updated my Twitter. You can find me at Everest Games, same as my YouTube channel. I'll put a link to that in the description as well, and feel free to leave a comment or something, and I'll get back to it. Thanks, guys. I'll see ya.